r/AskReddit. What's the best Wi-Fi name you've seen? I caused a small family panic when I named it Disconnected. Disconnected, connected, secured. Sounds like a geek version of Live Love Laugh. Hilarious. Take my cheap person award. No, you take mine. My so changed data loading. I'll never get back the time I put into trying to fix it. Mine is connecting. Ours is low signal strength. I named mine searching, it was super effective. Password invalid, retrieve. My favorite was, Mom, click here for internet. Calling it now that someone else's mother who has visited their child within that Wi-Fi router's range has tried to connect to it. When Ops Mom slept over at my place, she tried to connect to it. Well, yeah, when you guys finish up after 2 minutes, what else is she gonna do all night? You guys are brutal. You've got to kiss. Keep it simple, son. Point breaks arms. Chipotle, guess there's no Chipotle nearby. It's stupid shit like this that cracks me up the most. I don't know why. I set my house network as McDonald's free Wi-Fi. My mother thought I legitimately got a Wi-Fi plan from McDonald's. There is no McDonald's nearby. I didn't think it was possible to not be near a McDonald's. Fun fact, Subway actually has significantly more locations than McDonald's, but brings in half the revenue. Yes, about 24k vs 14k in the US point. It's substantially cheaper to open a Subway though. Think about the kitchen equipment. We are not allowed to have our own routers on campus, so I named mine AT&T Mobile Hotspot. Gotta go for something less obvious like John's iPhone. But then there'll be two. Juan's iPhone. I was in room 132 at my college dorm. I named it room 134's Wi-Fi. My favorite is it's on the back of the router. Point at it. On the back of the router it would say ask my name for password. My Wi-Fi password for a while was on the router. Point hilarity ensued. The following password was it didn't change. My buddy has there is no password as his password for the same reason. My cell phone number. What password? Was mine a while ago. If you give me a quarter. 244,466,666 then read it out as 123,456 edit. Put one too many sixes. Password. The password was Wi-Fi. Set your Wi-Fi password to 4 words all uppercase. Point then, when someone asks, tell them, 1 word all lowercase, 4 words all uppercase. My fiance had us a spider monkey and would tell people no caps or spaces. What does my mom do? Types in spider monkey no caps or spaces. Damn. That's some good mind game. And terrible security practice. Splash Data estimates that nearly 10% of people have used at least one of the 25 worst passwords on this year's list, and almost 3% use the worst password. Backquote 123456. Quote. Backquote password was the second most popular password. It is still pretty famous. So I used to work in cell phone repair, and one day I had 3 separate cases of a 123,456 password. I was very sad. I knew that one day it was gonna happen twice, for sure. Did not expect 3 times. Lol. I should also mention this was the first day I had gotten the password twice too. And then there was a time that I needed to test a customer's phone to make sure everything was working. They didn't leave the password, and just for S&G I tried 123,456 and sure as shit it unlocked. Lol. I immediately relocked the device and had a laugh. Lol. Some of us change it to 123,456 when getting our cell phone repaired, so that random strangers don't have our actual code. One of my sons, probably about 12 or 13 at the time, friend's father set added a Wi-Fi channel named Free Internet Porn when his son had a birthday sleepover. The father then sat outside the area where they were sleeping and listened to them spend hours trying to figure out how to connect. My son called me that night asking how to connect to a Wi-Fi channel when you don't know the password because his friend forgot their password. I told him the only way was to guess. Evidently it kept them busy and out of trouble all night until they broke the code. Hacker voice. I'm in point goes to Google and searches boobs. Jesus caught my kid for the first time not too long ago. Just porn as a search and H jobs. I guess 12YO girls are about as inventive as boys. Edit. Forgot the comma, but I like it this way better. Well damn. I never expected Christ's third coming to be like that. My neighbors are rude jerks, so I call my network free Comcast neighbor's address, and I obviously password protect it. My wish is that it drives them mad, that there's internet with their address, that they can't access. It's the small things in life. If you want to really piss them off, unlock the Wi-Fi and throttle it. Something really sad like 4K or semi-normalish bandwidth and a ton of parental blackout times. Every even numbered minute of the hour, every website with an E in the URL, etc. Tons of parental rules you can make on pattern matching. Protected sex point and protected sex point for a British electronics store called Sex. My ice says Cox, so do with that what you will. Make 2 networks, Cox worship, your full speed, password protected home network, Cox, and Bolt Torture, your guest network, not connected to your LAN, and without a password, with speed limited to 8 kbps. Dealing with Cox is already exhausting, now it's just torturous. The most notable, and my least favorite, I can hear you masturbating. I lived in an apartment with thin walls. I was really self-conscious after that. Image chilling in your bedroom and suddenly you hear smack 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 smack. Smack 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 smack. I'm no expert, but I think you're doing it wrong. Sounds like you are a bit of an expert. One would even say, a master. You're dangling a juicy bait. You're a pretty good baiter too, my friend. One can even say you're a millimeters, Ostworthy artisan of the craft of dating. Do you guys make a lot of noise while masturbating? I usually yodel to speed up the process. My younger brother set his mobile hotspot to hot singles in your area, and I'm never gonna get over it. Missed an opportunity for hot signals in your area. Hot signals in your area looking to get land. I ducked Jenny, landlord's wife. I had a friend who had that. Hated his landlord, but the landlord couldn't find out which tenant was broadcasting it. The friend had it hooked up to a battery so the landlord couldn't cut the power to find out whose it was. I was like, a battery? Now I don't believe this story. And then I remembered that I also own UPSes. It's also pretty easy to hook up a 12V battery to many routers and other devices that use 12V power adapters. That's a commitment to the cause. Silence of the LAN is a top contender for me. Mine's pretty classic, pretty fly for a Wi-Fi. The promised LAN. Mine is the LAN of milk and honey. We don't have Wi-Fi. Password was I don't know. Hilarious when anyone asked him how to get on his Wi-Fi. It was like a vaudeville routine. Guy walks into a bar and asks the bartender, what's the Wi-Fi password? Point. The bartender replies, you need to buy a beer first. Point. So the guy buys a beer and asks again, what's the Wi-Fi password? Point. The bartender replies, you need to buy a beer first. All lowercase, no spaces or punctuation. Friends of mine did a similar thing at a party once. They taped up a huge banner on the wall that said I to him Wigmab. Everyone was asking what it meant. Friends responded, if I tell you what it means will you get me a beer? Almost everyone who asked didn't get it and came back to them with a fresh beer. Totally safe Wi-Fi, no spyware. Promise and let it open, without password. Had arrived, got my guest network SSID as very free Wi-Fi, no virus. Wi-Fi for hot singles in your area. My 2.4 GHz is click here for virus. Point. The 5 GHz network is click here for virus fast. Malware.exe. Not a virus.exe. Not a doctor.99. Fremulan. I heard that. No, I felt that. Mine has been Nigerian scam network for years. Nudes.jpg.exe. 5G coronavirus test #1 strength 500%. Hehe, it's actually really sad that people think 5G does anything but make your internet fast. Well, it does also heat you up an imperceptible amount. I actually had a look at that. Microwaves and 5G use the same frequency bandwidth. Differences: microwaves use 500 to 1000 watts of power to heat up stuff in a tiny little box optimized for heat. 5G towers use 14 to 19 watts and dissipate straight into the atmosphere, so it's probably not even possible to measure the heat creation with instruments. That is the definition of imperceptible. Not exactly. It's actually unmeasurable. Imperceptible means it can't be perceived with your senses. Wu-Tang Lan. One of my neighbors has been Wu-Tang Lan for years. I love it. Password is protect Yanet. Password is old dirty password. Free Wi-Fi. I jokingly set up a hotspot called Free Wi-Fi Airports while waiting for a delayed plane. I shut it down after 5 minutes cause my phone was getting dosed by people trying to connect to it. Edit 1K, cause this got a bit more traction than expected. I wanted to add something to avoid getting people into trouble. Sniffing traffic could be illegal in your country. Do this in your home lab, but for the sake of God don't start spamming fake hotspots and allow people to connect to them. The less experience you have, the more likely you're doing something that could be considered a felony. Edit 2. This was supposed to be a fun Wi-Fi name story and turned into a how to hack Wi-Fi fac. I'm not going to share any information regarding stuff like this, and it's completely off topic. Plus, again, as mentioned in Edit 1, if you don't know what you're doing and follow advice from a guy called AskReddit, it could get you into trouble. All I'm saying is to be careful when using networks you're not controlling, and to take appropriate measures if you're handling data that could be harmful to you, your company, or others. Edit 3. Thanks kind stranger for the award. Definitely didn't expect a stupid hotspot story to be my most upvoted comment. Edit 4. Rephrased legality of sniffing. You're like one of those guys that puts the power outlet stickers on airport pillars. Except you don't get to watch people lose their shit. Well, it's been a fun 5 minutes cause nothing's more annoying to people than just not getting connected to that damn Wi-Fi. But jokes aside, it made me realize why lots of corporate policies mention to be careful connecting to public Wi-Fis. And as a side note, those policies are there for a reason. It burns when IPE. 8 Hz 1 IPE. The best Wi-Fi name that I found led me on an elaborate adventure. It was called Help Girl Kidnapped Floor 9 Act 30C. On the door of that apartment was a post-it note that instructed me to go into the basement where there was a stash of free marshmallows. Grabbed enough to add into a cup of white hot chocolate. Meanwhile, the poor girl is still being held at floor 9 apartment 30C. The cops have been called numerous times, but they always end up leaving with a handful of marshmallows. A simple spell but quite unbreakable. Kidnapper A. What are we going to do about the Wi-Fi? She changed the name. Point kidnapper. B. Switch it off real quick. They will find out. Point kidnapper. A. But neighbors will find it weird if power is on and Wi-Fi is off. Point kidnapper C. Just stick a post-it outside and put some marshmallows downstairs. Point 3. Days later. How many more packets do we need to buy? Taking candy from strangers in a basement. Password. W. Old you like to see what's in my van? Tell my Wi-Fi lover. I kinda wish the person responsible for that router updated the name regularly to fill everyone else in on how their relationship was going. Tell my Wi-Fi need more space. Tell my Wi-Fi want another kid, but only if she's okay with it. Tell my Wi-Fi want a divorce. Tell my Wi-Fi want the router. House Lannister. That's the name of my 2.4 GHz Z Wi-Fi. My 5 GHz Z is ping in the north. Connecto Patrilum. That's what she SSID.